Welcome to the video book summary of Doing the Impossible, The 25 Laws for Doing the Impossible by Patrick Bet-David. The book was published in 2012 and weighing 174 pages. What does doing the impossible really mean? This book is really for those who have a desire to achieve greatness and are ready to take the next steps to turn that desire into a reality. This book is a roadmap for those who want to do something big with their lives. The book goes over 25 steps that the reader should take to recreate themselves, identify their cause, and make history. Patrick Bet-David shares his own impossible crusade and gives key principles for anyone looking to do the same. The book is available on Amazon with the link in the description if you like what you hear. So without further ado, I bring you the book summary of Doing the Impossible. A little about the author, Patrick Bet-David. Patrick immigrated to America at the age of 10 from Iran. After high school, Bet-David joined the US Army in 1997. After he was discharged from the Army, Bet-David got involved in the financial services industry. In October 2009, Bet-David launched People Helping People Insurance Agency, also known as PHP, with a unique vision to restore America by bringing back the free enterprise system to the American families. PHP now has agents in 33 states where they market life insurance, annuities, and other financial instruments to families. Back to the summary of Doing the Impossible. Introduction. In order to do the impossible, you have to tap into what motivates you. It all starts with a dream. If you don't have a vision that drives you to do the impossible, the mechanics of how to get there are irrelevant. No matter what your dreams look like, you must first have the vision of where you want to go and what you want to achieve. Dare to do the impossible. These are all the things that we need to think about to understand that nothing in this world is impossible. The only limited are the ones that we place on ourselves. If the impossible throughout history has become the imaginable, then the actual, why do we think that our dreams are impossible for us to accomplish in our lives? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The first step to achieving the impossible is having the courage to attempt it. It's never too late to be what you might have been. There will be failures on the road to greatness. Part of daring to achieve the impossible is letting failure motivate you rather than discourage you. We admire the courage and perseverance of heroes who have overcome tremendous challenges. We find inspiration in those who reach for the impossible, fight against the overwhelming odds, and turn past failures into stepping stones on the path to success. Most people let the fear of failure or the fear of the unknown keep them from making the decision to pursue their dreams. Failure is the most destructive emotion for personal transformation. Fear thrives on the unknown. By choosing to put yourself in situations where you face your fear, you learn that it is far easier to face reality than the endless loop of possible challenges your mind creates. The feeling of overcoming fear in turn gives you the confidence to face the next challenge. Our lives improve only when we take chances, and the first and most difficult risk we can take is to be honest with ourselves. Start by believing two important things. Number one, you are capable of greatness. And two, facing your fears to realize your dreams will be the best decision you ever make. Law 1. Invest in your identity. Where we are in life is based on our identity. Our beliefs are based on that identity. Our future worth and our opportunities will also be based on our identity. We change our identity from the inside out, and the change in our circumstances follows. Money is something that has to be grown into with a developed sense of discernment, responsibility, and wisdom. As if with anything else, before you begin to build your identity, you must first decide what you are building. Building your identity is about earning that identity. It is about doing the hard work, seeking the information, and transforming yourself from the inside out into the person who you envision becoming. Winston Churchill gave a speech at the Harvard University on September 6, 1943, which he closed by saying, "The emperors of the future are emperors of the mind." If you want your future to look different, you have to start by changing your thinking and building your identity into the person who you desire to be. Out of your 168 hours per week, how many hours do you spend reading, listening to personal development CDs, attending professional development conferences, or associating yourself with high identity individuals? Law 2. Let the right ones in. There's an adage that says you will make the average income of the 5 friends with whom you spend the most time. For better or worse, we become more like the people who we hang around. Create an advisory board of friends who will lift you up, challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. Your friends are going to influence you either way, so why not pick the friends who will be a positive influence? Associate yourself with people of good quality if you esteem your reputation for 'Tis better to be alone than in bad company. George Washington. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. Plato. You can't control the criticism that you'll get, but you can control your reaction to it. First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, then you win. Gandhi. If you constantly bring value to others, you will be someone who others seek to associate with as well. And law 3, protect your credibility score. Accomplishing the impossible requires you to earn the trust of others. You must prove to those around you that your word and your character can be counted upon. Trust takes years to develop, but only moments to destroy. Long-term, successful relationships are key to doing the impossible. Nobody reaches greatness alone. There are 7 things that will destroy us: wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, religion without sacrifice, politics without principle, science without humanity, and business without ethics. Gandhi. Make your word your bond, both to yourself and to others, and you will turn yourself into a person who shapes your own identity by honouring your word. Character is much easier kept than recovered. Thomas Paine. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. John Wooden. And law 4, strengthening your greatest weapon. A room without books is like a body without a soul. 1 hour per day of study will put you on top of the field within 3 years. Within 5 years, you'll be a national authority. In 7 years, you'll be one of the best people in the world at what you do. Earl Nightingale. Reading allows you to shape your identity independently of your current circumstances. You internalize the wisdom and knowledge of the authors who you read. Reading allows you to learn from your mentors who you don't have access to in your daily life. Learning from other people's stories and challenges and triumphs is far less painful and less time-consuming than going through those challenges yourself. That is why most of the world's greatest leaders have been avid readers. One should never stop being trained. That is a victory. Sun Tzu. Law 5, challenging your way of thinking. I realized that it was my way of thinking that had gotten me to where I was, not some set of outside forces that I couldn't control. You cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. Albert Einstein. I could control my own actions and my responses to things that happen. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people are the questions that they ask themselves. The right questions will lead to a motivation to follow through on the answers. Your mind will find a way to make what you imagine a reality once you accept that you are not only responsible for your future, but you're also capable of making that future a reality. The world we have created is a product of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Albert Einstein. It is the emperors of the mind. The future is designed mentally before it can be created physically. Changing your thinking means constantly imagining new possibilities, stretching your belief, and daring to try something new. Law 6. Know your why. It is your why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. Mankind is lazy until something catches his heart. Your why is what fuels your life. Our natural state is to be lazy and take the path of least resistance. Unless we're motivated by the why in our hearts, the bigger your goal, the more powerful your why must be. It will all come down to how badly you want it. That's what separates those who make it in the history books from those who don't. A champion needs motivation above and beyond winning. Pat Riley. Law 7. Work like it's 1880. We all have heard the expression, work smarter, not harder. The reality is that you can't substitute working smarter for working harder. You have to do both. A mind always employed is always happy. Thomas Jefferson. Blessed is the person who is too busy to worry in the daytime and too sleepy to worry at night. Looking at the numbers, it becomes obvious that we have replaced many working hours with leisure hours. Part of the reason for the increase in recreation over work is that we have so many entertainment options competing for our attention today. Video games, social media, television, movies, professional sports, the list goes on. We get so wrapped up in the dreams of others that we let them replace our own story and our own goals. The dictionary is the only place that success comes before hard work. Hard work is the price we must pay. I think if you can accomplish anything, you are willing to pay the price. Vince Lombardi. Winning is something that builds physically and mentally every day that you train and every night that you dream. Dreams without hard work are nothing more than fantasies. Law 8. Elevate imagination to a whole new level. Imagination is one of the things that separates humans from all living creatures. The ability to see not as things are, but as we imagine they can be. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we know, how, and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and to understand. Albert Einstein. Imagination rules the world. Napoleon Bonaparte. Before you do the impossible, you must first imagine it. The man who has no imagination has no wings. Muhammad Ali. And chapter 9, be as curious as Alice. Learning is something just as important as the age of 70 as it is at the age of 7. Too many of us stop asking questions in life as we get older. We simply lose that childish thirst for knowledge. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Albert Einstein. Judge a man by his questions rather than by his answers. Voltaire. Curiosity is the wick in the candle of learning. William Arthur Ward. And Law 10. Break away from the old you. There are two types of people in the world. Those who await and those who do. Those who wait spend most of their lives in the planning stage, getting ready to do something. The reality is that someday never comes, and the person who waits misses every opportunity while holding out for the perfect moment. Doers understand that time flies. We get one shot at life. Whatever it is that you want to do with it, don't wait until the opportunity passes you by. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. Napoleon Hill. Procrastination is just a word for taking the time to talk yourself out of something. Doers enlarge their spirit by taking on more responsibility, going after new challenges and crossing into uncharted territory. Things do come to those who wait, but only those things left over from those who hustle. Abraham Lincoln. And Law 11. Decide to be the chosen one. A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Christopher Reeve. A hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. Joseph Campbell. Law 12. Go all in with one industry. The reality is that if you truly do too many things, you will do none of them very well. The great ones are not those who pursue every opportunity or try everything that interests them. Becoming one of the greats at anything means being willing to put all your chips in the pot and make that industry your all-in choice. Think enthusiastically about everything, but especially about your job. If you do so, you'll put a touch of glory in your life. The wise man puts all his eggs in one basket and watches that basket. Andrew Carnegie. Being great at anything takes time, commitment, and consistency. The great ones first choose an industry, then they commit to it 100%. They want to develop something that is around long after they're gone. And Law 13, push the envelope. The expression of pushing the envelope comes from the transition from the propeller-driven airplane to the jets. Those who want to achieve the impossible understand that to become great, you have to push the envelope. Accomplishing the impossible in life is a journey with many smaller destinations on the way. The great ones don't get to one goal and then stop. They see each goal met as a stepping stone on the journey to something truly extraordinary. If you look at anything in life, growth comes from resistance. When you lift weights, your muscles are torn down and rebuild bigger and stronger. If you are not experiencing any resistance in your life, you're probably not growing personally or professionally. Pushing the envelope means not being content with the status quo. It means finding out just how far your plane can fly and how high it can go. Law 14. Turn your cause into a crusade. The dictionary defines a crusade as a vigorous, aggressive movement for the defense or advancement of an idea, cause, etc. Greatness comes from finding work that isn't merely a job to you. Rather, greatness comes from finding work that is a cause within you. When your work becomes a crusade, you will go to sleep Sunday night excited to work on Monday. There's no feeling like it. When a crusade catches your heart, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Fighting for a cause bigger than yourself alone not only motivates you, but it also inspires those around you. And Law 15. Channel your obsession. We all have obsessions in life. The difference is that those who do the impossible get obsessed with something productive that can make an impact. Psychology Today reported that people with ADHD are 300 times more likely to become entrepreneurs. I know quite certainly that myself have no special talent, curiosity, obsession, and dogged endurance, combined with self-criticism, have brought me to my ideas. Albert Einstein. Sometimes a little obsession or hyperactivity pointing in the right direction is a vital part of achieving the impossible. And law 16, evangelize your message. Success requires the ability to sell yourself, your product or service, or your ideas. Many of the great ones who do the impossible master the art of being evangelical in communicating their message to the world. Their zeal comes from out of their beliefs that their message will have a strong, positive impact on others. And law 17, aim for the moon. While wearing glasses may help us see the visible, having vision enables us to see the invisible, that which does not yet exist. Vision creates a path in our mind to a future of our own design. Those who accomplish the impossible have a vision past what the eye can see, past even their own lifetimes. Where there's no vision, the people perish. You can't predict the future, but you can follow your dreams. Visions without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Japanese proverb. Have a massive vision and you can accomplish that vision. Have a small vision and you will achieve small things. Law 18, keep the faith. Faith is the ability to look beyond the reality of your current circumstances and believe in a future that cannot yet be seen. Faith lets us believe in what will happen in order to make it happen. People of faith inspire faith in others. Faith. A strong or unshakable belief in something, especially without all evidence. World English Dictionary. Those who do the impossible eventually develop such a high level of faith that they simply know that everything is going to be as they imagine. And law 19, be bold. Those who do the impossible are famous for doing things that many would call crazy. They're called too risky, out of control, impulsive, or nuts. What others call risky, they see as pioneering. Our lives are charted by major decisions. Have you ever taken inventory on the biggest decisions you've made in your life? It's not just about having the courage to make bold decisions, but also the dedication to follow through with those decisions, win or lose. Nothing is more difficult, and therefore more precious, than to be able to decide. Napoleon Bonaparte. You must be single-minded. Drive for the one thing on what you have decided. Law 20. Embrace your frustrations. Frustration is a negative emotion, but it is often the source of positive change. Think about how often frustration with the way things are leads to invention, innovation, and inspiration. Many great ideas come out of frustration with the status quo. Frustration can be a great source of motivation. I've come to believe that all my past failures and frustrations were actually laying the foundations for understanding that have created the new level of thinking that I now enjoy. Change will only come when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. And law 21, fight adversity like Muhammad Ali. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. Muhammad Ali. If you let your difficulties and hurts in life shape you by toughing it out, you'll come out transformed on the other side. And law 22, let controversy be your status quo. It's a very normal thing for those who do the impossible to rub people the wrong way at times. They always have an enemy or a competitor who would like to see them gone. The best way to never have others dislike you is to never do anything worth noticing. Confidence comes from not always being right, but from not fearing to be wrong. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Doing the impossible means challenging the ordinary way of thinking, going against the grain, and carving out a new path that other people can't yet see. And law 23, silence your critics. In life, we all have people who doubt us and tell us what we can't do. The bigger the goal you set, the more you will hear it can't be done. Impossibility thinkers turn that criticism into motivation. They are compelled by a need to silence their critics. The words "it can't be done" to them sound like "prove me wrong." There is no better way to silence your critics than to make them eat their words. But always be grateful for your critics and use their doubt as fuel in your tank for doing the impossible. Criticism is something you can easily avoid by saying nothing, doing nothing, and being nothing. Aristotle. And law 24, charge your batteries with challenges. A lack of energy comes from not being challenged, but when we have taken on less than we are capable of. Commitment can be found living life on a cruise control, but happiness comes from being challenged, growing as a person, and chasing a dream. Without passion, you don't have energy. Without energy, you have nothing. Donald Trump. Most people are discouraged when you tell them that an 80-hour work week is a formula for success. The key to have no distinction between living and working. When you live your passion, you don't have to worry about energy or boredom. Chasing your dreams is the only caffeine that you will need. The more you lose yourself in something bigger than yourself, the more energy you will have. Norman Vincent Peale. And the last law, Law 25, have heart. According to the dictionary, courage is the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. You have the courage if you want to do something special in your life. Courage is a common thread among all the great ones. Lose their meaning. Sir Winston Churchill. Courage is the virtue with which every other virtue is reinforced when tested. Courage is a gift from God. It is there inside for us to access, but we have to actively reach for it. Courage is a must for those who want to do the impossible. And last, a ship in harbour is safe, but it's not what ships are built for. That's a wrap on Doing the Impossible by Patrick Bet-David. Look back on our channel for previous video book summaries and subscribe to our channel for future books. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, #BestBookBits. If you liked the video and want to buy the book, click the link in the video description to purchase from Amazon. Thanks for watching it, and I hope you learned a thing or two. Have a great day.